Today, we're going to unpack a really powerful technique to make your writing stand out. And it's not about fancy words or perfect grammar. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think about why you're even writing in the first place.
So let's start with an idea that might sound a little weird. This quote from researcher Lorelei Lingard is our starting point. We all think journals are just there to publish papers, right? Well, it turns out understanding the real purpose is going to change everything about how you approach your work. Okay, so if journals aren't just paper pushers, what are they for? What's their bigger mission? What are they really trying to get done?
And here's the big mind shift. You gotta stop seeing a journal as just a container for articles. Think of it more like the host of a really interesting ongoing conversation. And your manuscript? That's you stepping up to the mic to take your turn in that dialogue.
So how do you actually do that? Well, think about it like you're trying to join a conversation at a party. You wouldn't just walk up and start shouting your opinion, right? No way. First, you kind of hang back and listen to get the vibe. That's basically your literature review. Then you show you're interested and that you know what's already been said. Only then do you add your own new, interesting point. Right. So if your paper is your turn to talk, how do you make sure people actually listen? How do you make your contribution so compelling that they just have to pay attention? It all comes down to your intro. Seriously, those first couple of paragraphs are absolutely critical. To pull your reader into the conversation, your opening needs to do 3 very specific things, and it needs to do them well. And lucky for us, there's a brilliant framework for this. It's a simple 3-step guide you can use every single time to nail that opening: the problem, the gap, and the hook.
Okay, let's break this down. What do these 3 things, problem, gap, and hook, actually mean? And how do they work together to make your introduction so powerful?
First up, the problem. Now, let's be super clear. This is not just your topic. A problem is a real-world issue, a tension, a challenge that your audience already knows about and, more importantly, cares about. It gives everyone a sense of, oh yeah, this matters. Next, you point out the gap. So you've laid out this problem that everyone agrees on, and now you show them what's missing. What don't we know yet? What part of this puzzle haven't we figured out? That's the space your research is going to fill. And finally, the hook. This is the big "so what" moment. Why should anyone care if we fill this gap? The hook explains the consequences. It's what convinces your reader that your work isn't just nice to know, it's essential and it's going to change things. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this actually works in the wild. We're going to look at a couple of examples that show just how this framework can take a decent intro and make it truly great. So have a look here. The weak example just states a topic. Team communication plays an important role in patient safety. Yeah, okay, we know. But the strong version? It states a problem. It talks about unacceptably high rates of errors and ineffective communication. You can feel the urgency, right? That's what grabs a reader. You know, a lot of us were probably taught that a good introduction just needs to clearly state your research question and your purpose. And look, those things are super important for your actual study, but they're not the best way to get your foot in the door of a conversation. Check out this comparison. The example on the left is all about purpose. The purpose of this study was to explore. It's clear, but a little flat, don't you think? Now, the one on the right starts with a problem. The idea that 2 good things, leadership and collaboration, are potentially conflicting. That immediately creates a tension that makes you lean in and want to know more. And you see, thinking this way isn't just some clever writing trick. It actually forces you to be way more strategic about how you frame your entire project and what you claim its contribution is. To really be persuasive, you have to get inside your readers' heads. Ask yourself these questions. Is the problem I'm tackling still a hot topic, or does everyone think it's been solved? Are people even going to agree with me that this gap exists? And here's the big one. Will they agree that the gap even matters? If the answer might be no, then you know you've got some work to do to convince them. Because at the end of the day, remember this. Sharing your research isn't just presenting data, it's a social act. You're actively trying to persuade people, to get them to listen, to care, and maybe even to change how they think because of what you found. And this quote just sums it all up perfectly. A printed journal might look like a static, unchanging object, but the ideas and the debates happening inside it are alive and constantly moving. Your job is to use that problem gap hook structure to jump right into the middle of that dynamic conversation. So next time you sit down to work on a paper, I want you to try something. Don't start by asking, what's my research question? Start with a much bigger, more powerful question.
the one that will really guide you toward making an impact. What conversation will your research join?